Hi there. In this video, I'd like to talk about the glass table inside the GDS WinBidPro V15 program. And the glass table is something that applies to the entire program. So not just one manufacturer or another, it applies to every manufacturer. So you really only work with one glass table. And so what that means is when you install our software, there's 205 glass parts that are included, and those are just kind of put there so that you have something to work with. Now you can always go in and delete and add to this list, put in whatever descriptions you like. There's a couple settings that are specific, like for example, labor code. That's something you have to pick from a list, and that way the program knows how to calculate labor for a certain type and size of glass. So there's that. The glass type is pretty much a list oriented thing too. There's a drop down list that you can pick from. And then there's other things that are a little more free form. So the description, show label, the color, obviously the price, and the thickness is something you're typing in. There's other things here. So let's go through this from top to bottom. There's a sort by description box here, or sort by. So you would pick, if you want to sort it by glass ID, that's more or less the order that the records were entered in. So these are unique numbers. The ID is a unique number that um, is used for each record that's added to this table in this list. And if a certain ID is deleted, like let's say this bottom one here, number 28, if you didn't want that one and you delete it, the ID number 28 is never going to be used again. So if you add a new piece of glass, chances are it's going to use like 206 or some number greater than the total number of records that are here. So unique number just meaning it's never going to be used again. But it might help you remember, if you use number 10 a lot, then it's easy to find number 10 when you are looking through a list like this. Now, the other thing that makes it easier to look through this type of list is a filter bar. And this is used throughout the GDS program, but it's also here in this glass table. And it's the very top row here that's blank. And I can type in anything like there's a gray light 31. I'm going to type in 31 and it's going to show me any description that contains the characters 31. So that helps me narrow down that list pretty quickly. And then I want to hit clear filter to get back to the full list again. So if I wanted to do something a little more generic, like the color blue, if I want to look for something blue, then quite a few more things, 18 things come up. But if I only want tempered blue, then I can type a T in here. And if I only wanted 1 inch tempered blue, then you can see there's only one record. So that's what that filter bar helps you do, is narrow down that list real quickly. So we'll hit clear filter and go back. So you can add to this list, you can edit, you can change. Obviously, the pricing is not there when you install the program, but you can just go in and edit the price. And that is your cost on the glass. You can always mark up your glass in the markup report, but your cost is actually what shows up in the glass table here. Um, what else? So now these extra columns. So these are some of these things are fairly new. They weren't there originally in the program, but we added them along the way. So show label, you'll see how this first one says clear dash A. So I can type anything up to 10 characters into show label, and it is actually going to show up on the drawing instead of just your typical T and A that we see here. So if you use glass that doesn't have a show label, it's going to actually pick the first letter of whatever glass type it is. So you can see there's a few different glass types and they all have a different first letter. So if you want more description or something a little more detailed on your drawing to show what types of glass you're using, you can just put that show label, type in the glass list here, the show label characters, and that's what's going to show up on your drawing. So keep that in mind. It's a pretty powerful little tool if you want your drawing to look a little more detailed and be more specific on the glass. And the color, that's something that if the color is not listed in the description, it's helpful to have the color here so that you can sort and filter your list by it. Um, and again, we covered glass type. So insulated, that's just a yes or no thing. That's pretty simple. The thickness, It's important to use the thickness to help you filter the list, the price, of course. Minimum area. We can also look at a piece of glass just by clicking edit here, or a specific part. So the minimum block size area. So block size again was the nearest even number rounded up, I guess, the nearest greater even number of a piece of size of glass. So if you have a 2 square foot light of glass in your elevation, but your manufacturer, your glass supplier, has a 3 square foot minimum for this type of glass, for let's say evergreen tempered, then the program is going to see that. And as long as there's a minimum value entered here, it's going to see that, okay, this drawing's using or this job is using a 2 square foot piece, but the manufacturer needs to charge 3 square feet since that's their minimum. So the final glass report will automatically do that if that's value is entered there. Now, discount quantity is something that you can enter just for your own red flag to go up. If it's let's say a manufacturer offers or a supplier offers 2,000 square foot minimum, I'm sorry, not minimum, but discount quantity, and the total square footage of your job you see at the bottom of the report says 4,000 square feet, you know, especially if it's all the same type of glass, you'll know that, okay, I should be able to get a discount with this, so I can talk to to the supplier and have them give me a different price. So the pricing is job specific once your job is created. So this is like your default list. When you create your job and add your glass, it copies the glass parts to that job. And anything you do to those glass parts in that job are specific to the job. So you can change the pricing, change the descriptions, and all that. So, and I will show you real quick where that is. So if I'm looking to modify glass for a certain job, I can actually go to the jobs window, and then there's an edit job glass info button. So this looks a lot like a job part glass table, but it's actually specific to the job. It has the elevation name here, elevation sort code, and all that. But you can actually go in and change descriptions and prices in this little window here. So in fact, you can change sizes and prices in blocks by adding and subtracting. So it's pretty helpful little tool here. Um, Keep that in mind. That's just a little. There's other videos that are going to talk about that more, but just wanted to show you that. So in a nutshell, the glass table, it's a program-wide global type thing. Go in and adjust your glass, put your pricing in, your cost pricing, and then you can always tweak it on a job by job basis. So that's it.